All right, pick up where you left off.
Okay. Let's see here. Texas lawmakers now filed a bill to close the Tulsa airport. Now they're going back and forth with this right amendment thing. They're being cute. They kicked into the cute phase. Well, a North Texas congressman who has proposed legislation to lift the federal flight restrictions at Dallas Love Field is now striking back at a Senate Republican in Oklahoma. Republican Congressman Jeb Hensarling of Dallas has introduced a bill to close Tulsa International Airport to commercial traffic. They're striking back. This guy up in Oklahoma said, how about we just close Love Field to commercial traffic altogether? And this guy from Texas is striking back. How about we close Tulsa International?
Oh. How great for Hensarling's opponent next time he comes up for re-election.
No kidding. Isn't this ridiculous?
He's introducing joke bills.
That's exactly it. What's love got to do with the act is what it's called. And then they also...
Well, that's a valid point. Why is somebody in Oklahoma introducing bills to shut down commercial traffic at Love Field?
That's the whole issue is what Hensarling goes on and says, you know what, at this point, Congress really just should stay out of it.
I read something in the business section about this yesterday. With the master plan that they have for Love Field in place, if they left the right amendment, I don't see that it's going to be that big of a deal.
It's not. It won't. The only absolute.
I mean, they have a max. They have a limit on gates.
Correct.
They have a limit on
number of flights per day.
What do you call it? Where the planes come in?
Gates, terminals.
Okay. Flights per day. All that's in place. It can only get to a certain point, and after that, then you got to go to DFW if you want to fly to someplace.
The only difference is the plane that takes off, instead of stopping in New Orleans, will go on to Tampa or Las Vegas. That's the only difference. That airplane that used to go to El Paso and then to L.A. will simply go to L.A. Same number of planes a day. They'll just reassign them. People will still fly international out of Love Field, DFW. They'll still fly American Airlines.
They're going to get to the point they're going to piss Southwest off. They're going to pack up all their crap.
That's been battered around, actually.
Well, the thing that I read in the paper yesterday, they have no intentions on doing that. They just expanded the headquarters.
I know.
So obviously they plan on staying here. But they said if we were starting from scratch, Dallas wouldn't be any place on this list for us to base our headquarters.
Nope.
Well,
it's too hard for our executives to fly around the country because they got to stop in El Paso if they want to go to L.A.
Exactly.
Or they got to fly American.
You got to get Jim Wright on. Let's see, what his take. I think he's 80. He's still alive, isn't he?
I don't know.
I think so.
He's still alive.
Rob, if Jim Wright's alive, get him on.
Yeah, he's alive. I'll track him down.
Thank you.
Well, I just think it's
I'd
funny.
like to find out what comes out. This is the guy that set it up.
And
let's find out what he says. Or what has he come out in the paper? I mean, with a statement.
What I did hear was that he is still supporting it and still says it needs to be in place. And I just think it's funny that, as you said, Everett, introducing joke bills now. This is getting to the point. I think it's funny that they picked on Tulsa and another one, hold on, Des Moines. You notice they're not being cute with Las Vegas.
Oh, of course not.
No. Don't you be cute with Vegas. See what happens. All right. See how long you live. All right.
Hold on. Gavin.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Getting ready to leave.
Oh.
Got my keys, please?
You going to give me that phone number?
No.
All right, then. See you when I get off at 7. Go ahead.
Okay. Speaking of wanting to live, the Pleasant Grove area, which has been plagued by crime, where Russ's mom still lives, demanded action last night from the Dallas Police Chief, David Kunkel. Residents complained the department was not paying enough attention to that area. Residents say they want to improve the police response time when they report a crime. Every Friday and Saturday night, this is one of the residents saying, I hear gunfire when I'm lying in bed trying to sleep. 5 casings of 45 shells are lying in the middle of the street the next day. Chief Kunkel said his main objective is to get guns and drugs off the street, and he has 60 officers patrolling the Pleasant Grove area Thursday night just to do that. He kind of went on to say, what do you guys want to do? Would you want me out there fighting the bad guys, or you want me taking reports of gunfire? Which one? If cops are tied up with doing these reports, then they're not going to be able to out getting the bad guys. One or the other.
I think if I call the cops and I say there's gunfire outside, I'd like for somebody to show up.
Well, they do. But again, it's not like somebody's been killed. People are just popping guns off in the air. Now, granted, that should stop. But how do you do it? What do you logistically do to make somebody stop?
You can't ignore a call. If somebody calls up and says, somebody's outside firing off a handgun, You got to respond to
Well,
it.
you do, and they do respond. They come out.
And
they
something
drop
like
through the
that seems like it would take priority because you don't know if they're shooting in the air.
Well,
there could be some kind of gunfight out there.
And they do. They come out and they run through the neighborhood, and everybody puts the guns away while the cops are there, and then they have the cop leaves.
Well, it seems like there are two issues. One is prioritization, and the other is manpower to take care of what's out there. And
The city had 60 cops in the Grove. That seems like a lot.
Not really.
And your mother still lives there?
It's a nice place.
Gunfire every night.
Listen to the name.
Pleasant
Grove. It's just, I see trees, I see birds,
I see.
I see drive-bys.
Okay. British police are going undercover, naked, at one of the nudist beaches to catch a male pervert who's been demanding sex from bathers. The BBC News reports that the naked cops hope they can blend in better with the nudists who use the Studland Beach in Dorset and deter strangers from basically approaching folks that are bathing out there. They got listed somewhere as like an exhibitionist sex hangout, so everybody's showing up and asking people for sex, so the cops are going to go naked undercover. Adam Carolla's going to be staying up late. He's got a new late night talk show called Too Late with Adam
I thought he
Carolla.
talked about doing mornings.
I know. That was the rumor.
Hold on. Gavin,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
I want to leave.
Yeah. What's the story about Adam Carolla and doing mornings? Have we talked about this?
Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah.
Briefly.
Did he talk about that on the air?
Someone asked him about it.
What did he say?
He said it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And, he doesn't know, and we'll see what happens.
So he's starting this.
Is this for one market or all of them or what?
Probably be, maybe regionalized.
Is that who they're looking at for Dallas?
No. That might be a West Coast possibility, but, there might be a lot of possibilities out there.
And are they still? Is the rumor still floating about David Lee Roth?
Yeah, there's a lot of rumors floating out there about various hosts.
Of all the names I've heard floated out, Carolla is the only one that really kind of makes sense.
I totally agree. But I wonder how long this Comedy Central show's on for. It debuts August 8th, and it's basically too late, so it's obviously live late at night. He admits hosting a show like this is not something he's always dreamed of doing. He says, they're paying me, and I'll do it. Carolla says that he's looking forward to having some real dialogue with mostly C-list guests. His goal, by the way, is to make a bunch of money in the next 5 years, and as he puts it, tell everybody to kiss my ass. Not have to work.
I'm okay with that, with an employment plan. Gavin,
Yeah.
how long before you leave?
I really want to leave now.
No. You can give me that phone number?
I don't see what the benefit of it is.
I understand. You going to give it to me?
No.
Okay. Go ahead.
Isla Fisher is one of the actresses in Wedding Crashers. She's her little character is a nymphomaniac in this movie. Throws herself at Vince Vaughn's character. She's saying now chicks are walking up to her in public and going, I can really relate to your character. I can't have enough. I love sex too with strangers. So she says that at that time that's when I suddenly feel the need to walk away from these people. Clearly, there's a lot of glorias, which I guess is her character.
Well, you guys get that when you go out in public.
We don't get girls walking up.
No, but I mean, they buy into the character on the show.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Sure.
That is, well, of course, but that's a movie's different than this. There is a lot of our real life that's on this.
But there's also this show is
Yes.
satire.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless if it sounds real or not, it's still all satire.
It's a character show.
It's hard to discern where the satire starts and where reality begins.
Yeah.
But that's why it's a show. You're not supposed to know.
I understand that. Just odd these nymphomaniacs are walking up to her going, I can so relate.
Soap opera people run into that.
Oh, I can imagine. Oh, yeah. Who was it?
Susan Lucci getting slapped in public.
Public, yeah. People, bitch.
Right.
Is that a cop on too?
Wife of.
Oh. Yes, Mandy?
Hi, sweetie.
Yes, ma'am.
Jenny read the story about the people getting upset that they needed more patrol in the area. We have lost 2,500 police officers in the city of Dallas since October of last year. And basically what happened is when Laura Sweetie Pants, your baby, gave us our raise, they didn't inform us that they were not contributing to our insurance. So my husband got a $400 check for 2 weeks' worth of work because they went up on our insurance. And we have $1,000 per per person deductible now on our family. So.
Oh, wait a minute, slow down. His net check for 2 weeks was that's not possible.
It was $420. He's a 16-year officer, patrol officer.
Well, what is base?
You make more money on extra jobs than we do as a patrol officer.
No, I understand. That's why you see cops out. You take somebody that is that highly trained to do that many different things, and he's got to spend time directing traffic Sunday mornings for a church.
Or sitting at a Kroger, watching people steal baby formula.
We can't get any new recruits because the new recruits they do the training in Dallas, but they go to the other cities because they look at our insurance. We have a $500 deductible per person just on pharmacy and a $1,000 deductible, and that's a PPO plan. And it costs us over $700 a month to have our family insured.
What's his base pay a year?
His base pay as a senior officer is right at between $48,000 and $52,000 a year.
For 16 years on the job?
Yes, sir.
And after everything was sucked out over this past check, you got $425?
Exactly. By the time you took insurance and you took the casualty, because we can't, if he gets shot or he gets maimed in the line of duty, they took away that workman's comp full salary. It's going to be on a judgment basis now. So we have to take out extra insurance to cover us just in case he gets, really hurt as an officer in the line of duty to protect salary-wise. So that insurance went up, as well as our medical. Our medical went up 3 times. It tripled. We pay over $600 for 4 people to be insured.
I realize
it's a $1,000 deductible per person in our family of 4. And it's a $500 deductible per person on pharmacy.
Now I finally got a handle on why cops are the way they are about the foundation.
Yeah.
Because I had
no idea.
Yeah, no idea that you get dicked around that much just to get insurance.
We so depend on you. And she's got this thing now that she's doing an audit from all the city people that hire police officers as extra officers, because she wants these. She's got 2 bids up for vote. One, she wants the police officers $1 per hour of their extra jobs, and she wants.
Wait a minute. Why do they want what is this, like rental on the uniform?
We pay for our uniforms, which they won't supply us. My husband went without a coat.
God.
Because he's so tall. We buy our own uniforms, and they get faded and that sort of thing. So he goes in to get his own uniforms, which we pay for. And then he's like, well, we haven't placed any orders for any. There's none to be had.
Oh, well, wait a minute. Back up. Why does she expect a percentage of his off-duty pay?
Because those are her officers, the city's officers. And she wants a permit fee, a $500 permit fee from the local businesses to use officers.
Dan, see if you can hunt Laura Miller down. Get that crazy bitch on the phone.
I do it, because I'm about ready to go up there. I strangle that sweetie pants, sugar pie, whatever. She won't comment on it.
I don't know how you justify something like that. You're not if you're off duty, you're not my police officer.
No.
That's what we're trying to say. And she's like, well, you're like, my husband protects a lot of dignitaries when they came in, and when Matt Damon came in for his movie, or when Priscilla Presley was trying to do a perfume line, they hired him, as a police officer. And it was a big fight to go through the Dallas Police Department for him, if he's carrying the gun. Well, he bought his own darn gun because there's nothing in the budget to supply him a gun. He has his own gun. For 14 years, he's carried his own gun.
Well, and he's certified by the state to be a peace officer, so that's not City of Dallas either. Not to mention the fact, who has to pay somebody else for working a job?
Well, when they go through the police academy, are they paid while they're being trained?
Yes.
All right, well, then that's probably her concept is, I paid for your training to be a police officer. You make any money on the side, I deserve a cut of the action.
Even if that's true, though, at some point that has to end. If you're a 16 or 18-year officer.
It's like they sit down there at City Hall and just go, you know what?
What's the very best way to piss people off?
Nobody's really pissed off right now. How can I absolutely crawl up every officer's ass on the planet right now? I don't know. Let's take part of their part-time salary.
Dear God, does any other city do that? Anywhere?
I don't know.
I've never heard of another job doing that.
Well,
Yeah.
a prostitute, your pimp gets it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Maybe that's what Laura Miller is. Maybe we should send her a nice pimp hat.
Seriously.
All right, thanks, sweetie.
Yeah, that's the only
Buy her a
person I
nice
know.
Eldorado and get a pimp hat and paint some of her teeth gold.
Makes for a nice visual.
Call her Huggy Whore.
Huggy Miller.
Yeah. That's unbelievable.
Something's missing out of that story. That's too absurd.
Too out there.
Unless that's where you're coming from. As a city, we paid to train you as a police officer.
gonna use that
So if you're
training.
going to make money based on that training, I get a piece of the action.
But at some point, that debt has to be deemed repaid. You know, if you've worked 2 years,
How
3
about the
years.
fact that it's paid back because you're dicking them around already? How about that?
Yeah, well, I'm with you on that. Absolutely. It's
Where does
ridiculous.
that? Not that it matters because they shouldn't be paying it. But where does that money go?
Back into the city coffers.
Glad I don't live in the city.
I love Tarrant County.
I do too. God.
Dan, I don't see the message on line 4. Just tell me what it is.
No, he's a cop giving, basically saying it's manpower is the main reason why the people in various parts of Dallas, like Pleasant Grove, just they don't get the the service or attention that they're looking for when they make a call.
It ain't manpower. I didn't hear the call come in. So loud in these cars. I wouldn't want to go either.
Seriously.
I might drive up and down the street, blow a few shots out the window.
That's handled.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Much simpler.
A lot more effective. Did you get her cell phone number?
I don't have the numbers in here. Rob's on it though.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Rob will get it. Hold on a second. Gavin.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Sitting at my desk.
Yeah. You gonna give me that chick's phone number?
I don't want to talk to her.
I don't want you to talk to her. I want to talk to her. I want to find out what her whole motivation is.
When she gets mad, she just says stuff like that, I guess.
Well. So if you're losing a lot and she's not losing anything, why does she keep bothering you?
I don't know. I guess she had a change of heart, so to speak. But
And you know if you cell phone, if you get back with this chick, which I still think you might do,
okay,
you know that married guy is still going to be in the mix.
absolutely, and that's why I'm not doing it.
Nothing left of hers in your house. No reason for her to be calling. No reason for her to come by.
Nothing.
We'll just let Russ call her and tell her to bug off.
Yeah.
I want to handle it myself.
You're not handling it. You can't talk to her. That's not going to serve any purpose. All purposes will be served if I can talk to her.
No, I don't want this. I don't want this. I don't want to go any further. I told my story, and I want to move on.
I would too. And she's not going to let you do it until I talk to her. Give me her number.
No, she's got to stop calling eventually.
No, she doesn't.
When's the last time she called? Or text?
Probably the other night.
What's the other night? Wednesday, Thursday?
Wednesday.
Was that a message or a text?
Just a text.
And it said,
Just I miss you.
It's not bad enough you screwed me around.
yeah, now you got to make it this more painful.
Right. Instead of just cutting me loose, since obviously you got somebody else, and I don't know where you think this relationship with the married guy is going to go, but go ahead and play that out. Mm-hmm. But don't keep sucking me back into it. Give me your number.
I hate you to do that.
What did you just say?
I said no. I said I can't. It's not right, you know.
Okay.
You ever lived at a radio station before, Gavin?
I just want to go home.
Well, I would too. Go ahead, John.
Sure. Cosmo Magazine.
Hang on. How we doing, Cliff? Go ahead.
Cosmo Magazine has come out just in time for your weekend, ladies. 14 great tips to enhance your relations or dates this weekend. Number one, they say step up your fantasizing. All women concoct lust-driven fantasies. That's why they have romance novels.
I wonder if they screw the firemen around like they do the cops.
Probably.
I'm sure. I mean, look at the boot thing. The boot contract.
Well, that's not really a...
Well, they'll be under the same insurance.
That's not an income issue.
No,
that's just, you don't know what you're doing, so we don't want you out on the street corners thing.
It screws them out of money, though.
Screws them out of money for MDA.
Right.
Yeah.
So they'll be under the same insurance issues. I just don't... I can't think of where a fireman would go to have a part-time job.
I think they do moving. There are fireman movers.
seen
Yeah, you know what? There's a link on my website of firemen who do a lot of stuff off duty.
Oh, okay.
So if you need movers or pool cleaners or whatever, you click on that, you say what you're looking for, and if there's a fireman in your area that does that, you can do business with
Oh,
them.
that's cool. Okay. Then it'll be a good question. See if Laura Miller skims from them, too.
Yeah, if they're taking part of their pool money.
Mm-hmm.
Train you to be a fireman. Where's my piece of the action?
God. That's so frustrating to even hear anybody say that.
I've been sitting up here at City Hall all week. I ain't seen a piece of nothing this week. Where's my Skrilla?
Give Daddy the juice.
You better hop off that fire hoopty and bring me my Skrilla. I don't know how you let those words come out of your mouth. Do we need cash that bad that we got to go back and take money from people we're already screwing around and ask for some cash back? Unless the chick on the phone had it wrong.
I can't imagine. She sounded pretty adamant.
Yeah.
Pretty clear cut.
But anytime something sounds that absurd, there's something missing.
Yeah.
And I can't see somebody saying, since I trained you, any money that's made off of your training.
You're in a Dallas Police uniform.
Yeah.
I want to cut.
Even though I bought you bought the uniform that you're wearing.
And the gun that you're toting around. You had to buy that, too.
Everything on you own, but I still want a piece of the pie.
Because you have our symbol on your shoulder.
The city of Dallas is so horribly in debt, I think she's willing to do anything. Even screw up the people that protect it. Last figure I heard was around $95 million. Does that sound about right? It's been a while since
That we're in debt?
Yeah.
So the city of Dallas is in debt?
Yeah. That may not be accurate anymore, but I know not terribly long ago it was.
I know where 60,000 of it went.
But now we know
how the gorilla got out. We knew the day he got out, how he got out. He jumped over the fence. We didn't need somebody to come in and set up a bunch of the surveys, to take a bunch of surveys to figure out how a gorilla got out.
You got to have the surveys.
Your gorilla got nuts and went out. Well, what do? Don't let him out. I'll give him my 65 grand.
Yeah. Build higher walls.
Yeah.
Really? Thank you.
Throw some rocks out there. You know what? Have a little wire sitting out there, and when you see him running at the fence, dig it. Plus, it's funny to watch.
Yeah, it is. Kids love that.
Trick the gorilla.
3 shows an hour.
Can't start selling rocks. You want a break here? All right, we'll be back.
We'll be back to the Russ Martin Show.
Rob. Take Gavin his keys. He came in during the break being pissy.
Yeah, he's been like that all day.
What's wrong with him?
He's down. He broke up with a chick that he really, really loved.
She screwed him over really bad twice.
Yeah. He really, really loved her. I mean, she made a difference in his life. They were working out together. He was in the greatest mood, and she just trashed him.
All right. So why be pissy to me? I'm trying to help him.
Because you took his keys, and you won't give them back to him, and he is the boss, and when the boss says to do something, you're supposed to do it. Stop it. Yes.
Did you give them to him?
Yep.
Good, now bring me his heart.
No.
Level red.
Say it again.
Is that level red?
No. Don't really go down there.
What'd he do?
I just saw him walking down the hall. He turned around.
God. I thought you had a talk with him. Jesus. This is what he wants. Yeah,
he just flipped around. I see him on the camera back here. He just looked dejected going back towards his office.
Can't go get his heart. Stupid job.
Stupid car. Yeah, hi, Deborah.
Hi.
Yes, ma'am.
I just have an opinion. You know, everybody that's so unhappy with what they're making at the city, especially some police officers, go someplace else.
No, that's what they're doing in droves.
How does that help the city of Dallas?
No, they're not going anywhere else. They have a drop plan. They're not going anyplace else. I just get tired of hearing people.
They are. They come here, they get trained, and then they go to the cities that offer better benefits. Yeah, they are.
Maybe new ones, but your old ones aren't.
A lot
of them are staying.
Some of them are. Obviously, not all of them are going off. But you know what? Sometimes people do a job not because of the cash, but because they like where they live, and that's what they want to contribute. So you don't tell them if you don't like it, go someplace else. That's going to do. That's you're the one that's going to suffer in the long run.
Well, and that's probably true. But let me tell you something. It's just like the lady was talking about how we didn't, city employees didn't know about the insurance, and we didn't know this, and we didn't know that. We did know. We were well informed.
Are you a city employee?
Yes, we're not just thrown stuff and said, oh, yeah, by the way, here, prices go up everywhere. You're going to pay more for stuff. You either pay it or you don't pay it. It's a personal choice. But don't bash the city and everything about the city.
It's like the city goes out of its way to crap on city workers. I don't care about.
I disagree. I think there's a lot of things that we may or may not like, but there's a lot of things about being a policeman that's quite beneficial, and if I were one,
what are some of the benefits about being a cop? Honestly, and I'm not saying this to be trite, I'm actually shocked a lot of them get up and go to work.
Well,
what are the benefits? You got a job that nobody appreciates, and I'm not saying all cops are saints. There's plenty of them that are asses, but for the most part, a large percentage of them are okay.
Good guys.
You got a job that's unappreciated. You got rotten pay. What am I leaving out?
You got people shooting at you.
Yeah, on a daily basis, your very being is threatened.
Right.
And it's confrontational. Every time you pull someone over, every time you arrest someone,
every aspect of your job is negative. It's confrontational.
Yeah. So what's the payoff? What's the benefit?
Well, let's see. If police officers get an advanced degree, they get paid for it. Civilian employees don't.
That's not true.
Say it again.
That's not true. If you get an advanced degree in the private sector, you're going to probably make more money too. So that's not something that's not.
I think she's talking about city workers.
Other city workers.
Yeah.
Well, I don't care if you get an advanced degree.
Well, then do you care if the police get it?
Yes.
Oh, okay, because they're police.
Yeah. If somebody's out in front of my house and there's gunfire going off, I don't give a rat's ass that you went to college an extra 2 nights a week. I want a cop out there.
That's fine. But what I'm telling you is, the woman that was on the phone earlier talking about how we're just so mistreated and how we don't know anything and everything happens.
So your resolution to that, your resolve is to go someplace else.
No, what I'm saying.
Now that's what you said was the first thing out of your mouth.
What I said. That is exactly what I said. Because I'm tired of listening to people bash the city and bash city workers.
It's a mess.
Well, then you know what? If it's such a mess.
That's why I live in Tarrant County. I'm sick of Dallas. I'm sick of people like you. Every time I call down to City Hall, I get some pissy chick just like you. After I go through some kind of voice prompt.
What do you do for this?
Let me tell you something.
Yeah, tell me something. Tell me something.
You can say whatever you want to say.
Good.
She's the only city worker I've ever heard of that liked Laura Miller.
Yeah.
Which makes me think she's probably not a city worker.
And I'm not trying to overglorify. I know it sounds like I do, but I'm not trying to overglorify cops and firemen. But really, that's our first line of defense for anything.
Sure.
And I really would like to take care of somebody. I'd like for them to sit in that car and be happy,
be proud
that that the people around them. I'd like for them to know if something bad happens to you, that somebody's going to be there and stand up. Somebody's not going to go back and go, you know what, you got shot in the line of duty. after a couple of weeks, you're going to run out of sick time. So let's eat up some of your vacation, because I know that most people look at a vacation, they think of it as getting shot in the face with a shotgun and then laying around for a while, because that's the way I like to react. Or that's the way I like to relax.
Yeah.
It's very soothing to sit there and heal. That's what I like to do on vacation. I like to heal.
I like to ooze buckshot out of my puss.
Yeah.
Everybody needs a hobby.
Meanwhile, we're taking away your vacation pay. Oh, and that insurance, that the medical, that we need a couple extra $1,000,
right?
As a deductible.
And if you got a job on the side, you realize that being the pimp of Dallas, I got to get my piece out of that.
God, that's frustrating.
Something's got to be going on someplace else that the city of Dallas could go back and mimic. Yeah, very seldom, unless I'm missing something, you don't hear Fort Worth cops bitching.
You don't.
Very seldom do you hear cops outside of Dallas-Fort Worth, the suburban areas. I don't hear anything.
Bitch won't complain.
Well, it's just the bureaucracy is so large and the budget deficit is so large.
Fort Worth's large, too. Houston's large.
They don't have the financial problems that we do, I don't think.
Okay, all right, so what does that indicate?
We go back to
Thank you.
We go back to the American Airlines, Southwest Airlines models.
Right.
Look at something that's working and do it.
Sure.
They're going to get to a point to where they piss Southwest off because they tax all those planes that Southwest has here.
Oh, yeah.
All they got to do is fly those bitches to Houston and go, tax it now. Whore.
Exactly. They provide $20 million to the city of Dallas every year in taxes.
And it's going to get to the point to where Southwest is going to have to threaten something like that. Get off our ass, or lift this right amendment, or we're going to take all these planes and we're going to go park them someplace else, and we'll let Houston tax them for a while.
I don't understand why this is this big of a deal. It's not really going to make that huge of a difference for anybody.
Somebody thinks it is.
Unless you can get somebody on the phone to come up with a good reason why it will.
Rob, did you dig up that Jim Wright guy?
I'm surprised.
Yeah, I got his number.
All right, let me know if you get a hold of him. You're surprised what?
I'm surprised somebody from American doesn't want to come on, or, surely they have a legitimate stance on this.
I haven't heard it.
I haven't either.
And I'm still waiting for the day that somebody brings up something valid and goes, all right, here, you're looking for one thing, here it is.
Here's the business
You see
model.
this?
Yeah.
Here's why it's got to stay in place. I don't care anymore. I ain't going anywhere.
You don't travel anyway.
You want to start again?
Sure.
Need a legal ID?
Yes, please.
All right, then. We don't need to break, do we?
No.
You okay?
Yeah.
You stoned?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
You're good, man.
Anybody stop by the station, bring me a bone?
That's what I'm aware of.
I'll look out front if you like. No bone.
That's too bad. I've given up on prescription drugs.
Good.
I'm going natural.
No, you're not. You're not going bung.
Gonna be a big hemp weekend.
No, it will not. Can we ever camp out at your house sometime?
Why?
We talked about it earlier in the summer.
We didn't get around to it.
We never did it. That might be fun.
Like in your backyard?
Yeah.
Sit around?
Yeah.
Smoke marijuana cigarettes?
No, just light your fire pit and roast marshmallows. And,
Weenie roast.
yeah. It'd be fun.
Suck on a bone?
No.
Still ghost stories.
Huh?
Ghost stories.
Yeah. Get tents, like we were gonna. We just never did.
Oh, I got a tent.
Oh, I know.
When do you want to do that?
Next weekend? Not this one, but next.
Why?
Well, it'd be fun. We don't do anything together. On the weekends.
Why is it all of a sudden you want to get clingy on me?
I'm not clingy.
You're giving me all the Jesus cards this week, and now you want to start hanging out more.
They're friendship cards. They're not Jesus cards.
Well, why don't you give me a friendship ring or something like that?
I'll give you a friendship ring, too, if you like.
I'd stick with the cards. That's even weirder.
No, I want to... Fine, we'll have a camp out next weekend.
Okay.
We can let Amy's dogs run outside, and we'll pretend they're wolves.
Sounds like fun. Oh, wait a minute. Dogs are... Oh, they... No.
What?
Well, they run out there and they crap. I don't want to sleep in a bunch of dog crap.
What is it with you and dogs?
I don't want to sleep in dog do. What's wrong with that? Who does?
Well, first of all, I go out there and I hit it with the mower so it scatters.
Great. So it's not scattered dog do.
When it gets rained on it decomposes.
Yeah.
So now it's mushy scattered dog do.
And then you came over last week and the dogs came up. It's like you don't want to pet them because they stink.
They stink.
You can wash your hands.
I know, but
it's not like once you pet the dog, you live with that.
I just didn't want to... They were nasty. Wash those dogs.
They get washed. They get bathed once a week.
Okay. Obviously, it was the day after I was there.
All right. What is it about you petting a dog? The stench isn't going to live with you all day.
I petted him when we stayed
No, you
there.
didn't. You kept pushing. I saw you kept pushing the Kahlua in the head like,
I didn't.
you stink.
The
dog doesn't care.
I know.
What do you think's going to happen?
I just didn't want to stink.
You could wash your hands. I got water on the way out of the house.
I understand that. I just didn't want to stink like a dog. Now, when you stayed in your house there for a few days, I played with him. I pet him. Then I'd wash my hands.
How very generous.
Well,
yeah. Grizzly Adams.
Hold on. What is that, Dan?
It's Paul, you're breathing heavily, death threat man.
boy.
5. Yes, Paul.
Listen to the black one when he barks.
Listen to the what?
The black one.
The dog?
Or Eddie? Are you laughing?
Got your death threat, dude, to laugh.
What about the black one barking?
I visit your space.
You did what?
I visit your space.
I visit your space.
Visit my space. And?
I taste your presence.
How do you taste it?
The black one barks. You should listen to the black one.
All right. Anything else?
Mr. Martin.
Yes?
The tongue is a fire, a world of evil among the parts of the body. It corrupts the whole person.
Mm-hmm.
I set myself
Yes.
on fire.
Good.
I burned my hair. I delivered it to you so you will know soon what it's like.
You burned your own hair? Well, he should be easy to spot.
Yeah.
I can see the lineup now.
Throwing a few lepers to throw me off.
Yeah.
No, it's burned hair guy.
I'm thinking it's Match Head Boy there.
It's the one that smelled like the fajitas. That's got to be a... Who is that?
It's Black Eddie.
Oh. Hi, Eddie.
You know what that means?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
That's got to be a pisser.
Well, yeah, you call up and you threaten to kill somebody, and you death is just the big stench.
Yeah.
All around the phone call. You hang up and everybody laughs at you.
Yes.
Are we okay, Chloe?
We're cool.
All right. Did we start or not?
No.
No.
Did I do a legal ID?
Need illegal.
Say it again?
Need illegal.
He's toasted.
Yeah.
Illegal.
Here. All right.
Be where I am.
Do what?
I said, be where I am.
Before. Oh, okay, I got it. 608 JD Ryan. 608 at KLLI, Dallas Fort Worth, Texas. JD Ryan's here with news.
Thank you, Russell.
Hold on. What, Dan?
It was weird. When Paul called in that last time, he also asked me what you were wearing.
Why?
I don't know. At that point, it just seemed so odd. I just said, hang on, I'll let you ask him.
You know what's funny is Rocco, that's the black one,
Okay.
was barking at some stuff today. And I get to the point where I just ignore him.
Well, sure. They bark all the time.
Well, no, they don't.
Okay. Just when I've been there, they'll hear a noise and go off. But okay. What was he barking at?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
And there was somebody kept going up and down the street because I was out doing yard work in a gold. It's like a Mercedes.
Okay. New one? Old one?
I don't know.
All right.
It looked new.
Okay.
They just kept cruising up and down the street to the point to where it just got odd.
Could you tell were they looking at you or slowing down in your house?
No, but it looked like a younger kid with a baseball cap. That's all I could see. I didn't have my glasses on.
Okay.
How many times did he pass?
The country club is just off to my left as I'm standing in the front yard, or to the right if you're looking at the house. They were sitting there right at the stop sign for a while, not going anywhere.
Yeah, there's not that much traffic on that street.
No. Sit there and then passes back and forth, and they'd go over near the Cowboys' house, make the loop on his street, and come back. And that happened over a course of 20 minutes about 4 or 5 times.
That's very odd.
And your black dog was barking?
No, I was outside. I couldn't hear him.
Oh.
My black dog stays in the house. Eddie's the one that sits on the porch.
Stop it.
Sorry. Go ahead.
All right, news brought to us by Bush's Chicken, 7110 Greenville Avenue, just south of Walnut Hill. I'll be there tomorrow night. Come by for dinner 5 to 7 o'clock. I'll have sweet tea, chicken tenders, and we'll have DVDs and CDs and Russ Martin Show T-shirts to give you.
How long you been in radio?
30 years.
And you're going to spend Saturday night doing an appearance at a chicken place?
Yeah. It sounds like fun.
Which part of it? The sweet tea?
Yeah. Well, they brought it up. At first I went, nah, and I went, no, that sounds like fun.
All right.
Sounds like fun to me.
Okay.
The board of the Unitarian Universalist Association has now apologized for incidents involving apparently disrespectful and racist treatment of youth delegates during the denomination's annual 5-day meeting last month in Fort Worth. Board Secretary Paul Richter posted an open letter of apology dated July the 6th on the denomination's website. Yeah, that's right. Where he cited reports that white delegates assumed that the UU youth of color were actually hotel service people on several occasions.
Do you understand what he's saying?
I have no idea.
It's the Unitarian Universalists. That's the UU.
All right. Did you say that earlier? Mm-hmm. All right, we missed that.
Okay. The board has now apologized because basically this was the big meeting they had, and a lot of the white people assumed that the black folks that were there were actually hotel employees, and they were telling them to take their bags and park their cars.
That's an honest mistake.
No, it's not. No, it's not. He said the white Unitarians asked the non-white Unitarians to carry their bags and park their cars. Mr. Richter also described a confrontation in which an adult delegate questioned a group of young Unitarians' right to be at this closing ceremonies, basically saying, you guys work here, what are you doing inside our little symposium?
Got it.
Okie dokie. Well, the House today overwhelmingly endorsed President Bush's vision to send a man back to the moon.
Hold on. What is it, Rob?
Hey, would it be all right if Wendy and I and Misty came over tonight and stayed the weekend?
Why?
I'll stay awake if you want me to. I'm just a little nervous about this whole thing.
But the guy driving him down the street and the dog's barking.
You and Wendy can come, but not Misty.
Well, not Misty.
The last time she was there, she ate my phone.
She what?
Ate the phone.
Ate the phone.
Ask me again. Maybe it'll change.
How'd she eat? Just chewed it up?
Yeah.
She's a very hyper dog. What's your problem with dogs?
I don't have a problem with dogs if they're not eating electrical appliances.
That's a great dog.
I go upstairs because they put her on the balcony so she could just see and be outside, but be confined.
Balcony with the TV?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I go up there, and she ate the phone.
Boxers are very high strung. Or she was ordering pizza. One or the other.
Well, get her something else to eat, but stop eating communication devices.
That's pretty good.
Maybe if they feed her before she comes over.
Hey, stop by Radio Shack before you get to the house.
Cuban President Fidel Castro said in a speech published today that he is honored to be a friend now. You remember little Elian Gonzalez, the little kid?
Who?
Elian Gonzalez.
Oh. What about him?
The little boy that was at the center of the international custody dispute about 5 years ago. The kid that got the swing set that you never got.
I understand.
All right. They took
him down to the deportation pier.
Yes, they did. And basically, he and Fidel are now buddies. Alien Now 11 was the subject of a high-profile legal and ideological battle between the father in Cuba and the family members in South Florida, both who claimed custody. You remember that whole story?
Yes. Tell it again.
I'm bored by it. 9/11 Commission says we're still not safe. Do you care?
Yeah, I'd like to hear the reasoning.
Okay. Vice Chairman of the September the 11th Commission gave the federal government a mixed grade on Friday in its performance in following through on the recommendations the panel made to improve America's security. The co-commissioner, Lee Hamilton, said a series of terrorist attacks in London on July 7th, followed by less serious bombings this week, demonstrated that the war on terrorism is long from over. The enemy is patient and they are skillful. Sometimes they will make mistakes, but we need to exploit their vulnerabilities. So they're basically saying, we're doing some, but we're not safe.
We're never going to be.
No.
Because you're dealing with people that don't care.
Yeah.
That's the biggest battle that we're ever going to have is it's almost impossible to fight someone who doesn't care.
I know. It's amazing. It really is amazing to me we haven't had any attacks on our soil since September 11th. We're doing something right. It's not just random luck.
Well, and the other part of it, too, I think, is that it's an unseen enemy. I mean, we don't know that they're our enemy because of the nature of their structure until they've done something.
Mm-hmm. Are you getting tired now that you're off Alexa Pro?
Mm-hmm. Huh? Well, I think the Alexa Pro has a half-life. I think just because I stopped it last night doesn't mean it's immediately out of my system.
Is it that mixed with the alcohol that's making you tired?
I had a couple of energy drinks.
It shows. Yoga may help prevent weight gain in middle age. Practicing yoga can help prevent the dreaded middle age spread and even shed unwanted pounds. New study shows that normal weight adults who practice yoga regularly gained an average of about 3 pounds less between the ages of 45 and 55 than those that don't. You couldn't care less. Many women link sex with submission. Okay. Terrell Owens is getting ready to quit. You don't care about that?
That was so great how you read his total lack of expression. He did nothing and you knew.
I think at this point I could say free sex and money. I don't think I could get him to wake up.
No, I'm all right. Go ahead.
14 great relationship tips from Cosmo magazine for women.
Yes, I'd love to hear this.
Ways to be sexier and more sexual over the weekend with your dates or whatever.
Okay.
All right, number 1, step up your fantasizing. All women concoct lust-driven fantasies. That's why romance novels exist. This time when you're fantasizing, instead of thinking of your fantasy as a movie you're watching, think of how it feels.
Hello?
They say number 2, worship yourself. One way to get turned on is to get totally narcissistic. Look into a mirror and give yourself a compliment or 2. Tell yourself how hot you are. Number 3, get your
Hey, look at that.
Yeah, hot. Making me crazy.
Wish I was double jointed.
Number 3, get your pulse going. Any activity to get your heart rate up is a good setup for relationships or sex or whatever.
All right.
Number 4, take a shower. After you finish showering, basically the hot water makes your skin warmer.
Is all this for foreplay?
This is all to get ready for like a date. If you're
a date.
You're sitting around the house waiting, and you want to feel sexual and you want to feel intimate with yourself. Right. These are things you should do in prep.
Okay.
Set up a high luxury scene. You know, like if you're in a really fancy hotel, how much sex is sometimes better and it's real fancy. Basically saying, get some champagne, put on the really good sheets, light some candles, that type of thing.
All right.
Do a workout down below. You've heard the Kegel muscles? See, really, the Kegel muscles are extremely important. Not only do they make you tune into your physical sensations and focus on the part of the body you're interested in, but they also can cause arousal. You know what the Kegel muscles are, right?
Yeah, but anytime I exercise, though, my whole pooches.
Okay. That's I believe what it's supposed to do. You're pinching off the flow, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But when I do that, my back hole pooches.
Well, yeah, because those are all connected.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Part of the workout.
Is it?
It's cross-training.
It just looks like I'm trying to blow bubbles.
Number 7, reminisce. Go through your memories of great relationships and great sex you've had, and just think about those. That get you horny. Number 8, I like this one. Parade around naked. After you shower before a date, spend a lot of time, as much time as you can, naked. It gives your regular prep time a sexual vibe.
Why is it you get a kick out of walking around naked?
Just because it's a little different than you do on a normal daily basis.
Not for you.
Well, no, not for me. But I mean, most people. I dated this chick one time. She specifically went out of her way every evening or whatever to have what she called naked time. She would be getting ready for a date and she'd walk around.
Which one was this?
I don't think you ever knew her.
What year was this?
I would have been 94 or 5. I only dated her about 6 months.
And I didn't know about her?
Mm-mm. I didn't date her that long.
Oh, all right.
She was real fun, but she always called it. I'd say, "What are you doing? Naked time. Can I come over? Mm-mm. It's private."
She did it by herself.
Well, she has to occasionally have a girlfriend over, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's what I thought, too. I went, what's going on over there? No, seriously, there's nothing sexual about it. It's just naked time.
Really?
Yes.
And how about if I had you over on a Sunday afternoon and we just walked around the house naked?
No.
And you call up Joy and you know what? I can't come over. Russ and I are having a naked time.
It's different with chicks. It's totally different with chicks.
What is it, Chloe?
Using a double-headed dildo.
Sit down.
There's a few more. Wear something erotic. Wear bathing underwear you don't normally wear. Think of things in the most sexual content when you make up your bed or whatever. Think about the times you had great sex in that bed. Wear heels. Take a glance at semi-porn.
Is all this for chicks?
This is all for chicks. Yeah, wear heels. Yeah, this is all for chicks.
All right.
And then finally have a moment with yourself before you go on a date. Give your hot button a tap a few times. Basically, don't finish, but get yourself all tooled up.
Got it.
God, am I keeping you?
Go ahead.
M&M's not retiring. That was a...
Don't care.
Okay, Scotty's ashes will be blasted into space.
They did or will they?
They're going to.
How are they doing that?
Let's see here. As per his last wishes, the ashes of James Doohan, Scotty from the Star Trek, is going to be blasted into space. There's a Houston company that does this. They specialize in shooting people's remains up into space. They stay up there, they say, for up to 100 or so years before they actually re-enter and burn up.
Oh. Do you know when they were doing Star Trek, when he did the transporters? We're going to talk about this?
No.
They used somebody else's hands to do the transporters because when he was in the war, they blew one of his fingers off.
I didn't know that.
Wow.
Just like when Radar, they used to hide his hand because he had one of those gippy monkey hands.
Yeah. Right.
And he hid that behind clipboards and whatever.
And on Match Game, he'd hide behind the counter, too. Did you ever notice that? He wasn't on a whole lot, but from time to time, he'd be on Match Game.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Gene Roddenberry died in 1991. He had the same thing done. His stuff was shot up into space.
Good.
John McCain is confused over why people are upset about his cameo in this movie, Wedding Crashers.
I like to hear that. That's a valid point because he had a hard time. He had a hard-on for Hollywood doing all the R-rated movies. Now he's in one.
Now he's in, topless. But basically, he got on Jay Leno the other night and said, hey, you know what? I work with boobs every day. It's no big deal.
That's its explanation.
That's his full explanation. All right. Speaking of boobs, Sarah Michelle Gellar is finally ready to take her career to the next level. She wants to go topless in her next movie. She told ContactMusic.com, quote, I'm approaching 30. That's, when they all go nuts.
Right.
And I need a change. The sort of roles I'd like to be getting, I'm not being offered. So this way, I may shock people into giving me different roles.
How are you doing, Chloe? Good.
Dukes of Hazzard, this is kind of a repeat of the story we talked about before, how Cooter don't want people to go see Dukes of Hazzard.
What about it now?
Big screen remake of Dukes of Hazzard is facing some hazardous criticism from one of its TV's originals.
He's admitted he hasn't seen it.
Yes, he goes on to say, I still haven't seen it, but I did read the script, and it's basically, he goes, and he is also going on here to say, it's even miscast. He goes, if I was the one making decisions, I would have hired Danny DeVito to play, and you could see this, actually, Boss Hogg, instead of giving the role to Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, I was surprised they stuck him in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does have a funny line here. He goes, these folks don't seem to realize you can't spoof a spoof.
Good enough.
But, that movie's not supposed to be literary work. I mean, you really...
Is it out yet?
No. Yeah. And, what are we really talking about here? A guy named Cooter criticizing something called the Dukes of Hazzard.
Right. A guy whose nickname is slang for a poon.
Yes.
Well, what did you say you saw this past week?
Oh, The Island.
I have a clip from that. Cut number 4.
Is that one out yet?
Mm-hmm. It was out this morning or today or whatever, so it comes out this weekend.
How did you see it?
We had a special advance screening last week.
Oh. How did it end?
Basically, the whole movie is rich people have got, they hire, someone to make clones for them.
Yeah.
These 2 clones are inside of this facility.
Right.
Brainwashed. They get out. They do a bunch of damage, a bunch of action stuff. Go back in, break all the clones out, end the movie.
Want to hear any audio? Care? Not really.
Yeah, let me hear a little bit.
Cut number 4. It's McCord, who's Steve Buscemi, explains the horrible truth of the entire existence to his fellow clones on the island.
What cut?
Cut number 4.
Oh.
You're clones. You're copies of people out here in the world.
What?
Clones.
What?
Copies? What are you talking
Why?
about? Some hag trophy wife needs new skin for a facelift, or one of them gets sick and they need a new part. They take it from you.
I have a mother. I remember her.
Yeah, I know.
I grew up on a farm. I have a little dog, and I had a bike.
I think I want her on my fantasy screw list.
Oh, do you?
I'm not. What is it, Dan?
Damn. She was one of the ones last time we were doing our hump list that I couldn't decide if I wanted to put her on it or not.
I don't know what it is about her.
She's young and hot. That's
well,
what it is.
she's not super hot. I think she reminds me of somebody else. I can't figure out who it is, but I want her on my screw list.
She's got that extremely classic beauty. It's not like when you see her, you think immediately sex pot. She's just beautiful.
In the movie, she is extremely hot. That's the reason for seeing the movie, because she always wears really, really tight clothes, and it's incredible. Oh.
And how does it end again?
They break out of the clone village, figure out they are clones,
right?
Because they were brainwashed into thinking that they weren't. They were like on the outside world,
right? They're just like livestock, and when you need it, you go get it.
Yeah, exactly. So, and they were brainwashed into thinking that
the island's someplace special that they're being kept.
Yeah,
right.
Transport.
They do the same thing to cows.
Yeah, and so you're going to the island. You're not going to the island.
Going to the farm.
Yes, we're gonna go outside.
Oh, it looks so pretty.
And get killed, and then I don't know.
That's the way it ends.
Yeah, basically, yeah. They just
wait. They die. They die or they don't.
They don't die.
Okay,
No.
So they get all the other clones out and they fight and they win.
They don't really win. Is what the deal is they're inside of the little facility thinking the outside world's contaminated.
Right.
That's what they're brainwashed to think.
Oh, and it's not really contaminated.
Not really exactly.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's not really contaminated.
Okay,
so
that's the way they kept them inside. Don't go outside.
Yeah.
Bad things are out there.
Yeah, and so they started thinking, it's not really contaminated outside. They get clues. They break out. They figure out the world's not contaminated, that there's extra stuff out there. They tear up a bunch of stuff, a bunch of action sequences. They sneak back into the facility and free all the clones.
Okay, then they go out to the real world.
Yes.
So does that open it up for a sequel, or does that seem like it's pretty much it, or how's it set up?
It kind of seems like it. You remember Logan's Run?
That's what it reminded me of when I saw the trailers for it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of like Logan's Run.
Okay.
So, there you go.
What is it, Dan? No? All right. How are we doing?
Break very soon.
All right, good, John.
Bad news. We didn't finish that clip, but we'll move on.
all right,
I think
hang
we've
on.
pretty much told the story.
Well, what else you got?
Bad News Bears clip. Coach Buttermaker, who's Billy Bob Thornton, shows up late for his first practice and drunk. That's cut number 6.
Hold on. You seen anything else recently?
No, just War of the Worlds, but that's been out for a few weeks.
Yeah. How's that end?
Basically, they kill all the aliens that come out of the ground.
All right, thanks. Is it Mike?
Bastards.
I'm sorry?
You're bastards. Now that's 2 different movies. I was going to go see that, and we were going to go see The War of the Worlds, but now you've ruined them both.
What?
I knew how the other one ended, but...
What else? What else is on your list of things to see?
Oh, yeah, I may be stupid, but I ain't that
dumb. Let's break here.
We'll be back to the Russ Martin Show. Number 1 in every damn category possible. The Russ Martin Show.
Live 105.
Yeah, you can clear those out if you want.
Okay.
How many you got?
About 10.
Yeah.
Just different ones.
Hold on. It's on the hotline.
Johnny from Operation Kindness.
Good. Hi, Johnny.
Hey, Russ.
What are you doing?
I'm working. What are you doing? You're working, too.
Okay.
Congratulations on being named whatever it was from D Magazine.
Yes, we're all very proud of it.
Could you be more insincere?
You know what? I think what's the guy's name? Tim Rogers. I think he's the only guy. I think he was the one that instigated that at D Magazine and kind of rammed it down everybody's throat because once they announced that they were going to do that, and they told that chick, the photographer chick, to come to my house to take pictures, and I told her I'd want her to and send her that nude picture of me in the Batman outfit, they were going to yank the award. Tim's the one that said, we already gave it to him. Yeah. Let it stay.
Relax.
He didn't really send you a naked picture with his crank hanging out.
No, I think,
Well, now, why did you do that?
I get an email from some chick that says, I'm with D Magazine, I got to come take a picture. I don't know why.
And she won't tell him why.
Right. She just says, I got to come get a picture. I got a short deadline. How about Monday at noon? Well, I don't know anything about it. She goes, well, it's probably better that you don't. How about Monday at noon? No, I'm busy. How about this one? And I send her that picture. Hold on. What is it, Rob?
I think it was that Stephanie chick that actually nominated you.
Was it really?
Yeah, she pulled me aside when we got there and said, thanks so much for coming. I didn't think he would come. I was the one that nominated him.
Oh, I didn't know that.
She's sitting on you. She wants you.
Well, you should have cooperated.
Why?
Well, because.
Why?
Well, whatever they want your picture for.
I didn't. Well, that's the thing is they think, well, I'm print, and you don't need to know why we're going to take your picture. Yeah. Just shut up and get your picture taken.
Zip it, radio boy.
Right. Well, I'm sorry. We're print, or we're television. You're radio. You're just a disembodied voice. Well, fine. Here's a picture with a body with it. I didn't know that Stephanie chick nominated me. I saw her today on that UPN piece.
Oh, did you? Rob told me that turned out really, really well.
Part 2 was better than part 1 because the lighting wasn't bad and I didn't look 80.
He said you looked great.
But she was in there at one point. Little short brunette.
Yep.
Great big yams.
Real ones.
Yeah. I wonder if she'd... Because I still got to get a love interest for Spittleville.
Yeah.
I wonder if we could incorporate her into that.
See, why not? You know she'd do it.
You think?
She's very smitten with you. I know she's got a boyfriend, but...
Well, her boyfriend was standing...
You can tell by body language when somebody's into somebody.
Rob. See if you can get that Stephanie chick and find out if she wants to be my love interest in Spittleville.
I will.
What'd he say?
Something about I will.
What'd you say?
I just meant one of many love interests. I will.
Oh, okay. Well, we haven't picked anybody so far.
No.
We're to the point with Spittleville to where we got to get into what's that word? Plot.
Plot. Yeah.
So I got to have somebody, and then we'll kill her off later.
Okay.
Just like they used to do on Bonanza.
Like that.
They knew how to treat women back in the old days.
Yeah. It didn't make a difference who got into a relationship on Bonanza. Yeah. You know, at a certain point, that chick's dying in a barn fire.
Absolutely.
All right, what do we have this week at Operation Kindness?
Well, we have a lot of dachshunds this week. We have a couple of young ones and a couple of older ones. The older ones are Oscar, who is 7 years old. He's black and tan, weighs 9 pounds. His owners were moving, the excuse that you like so well. And little Vincent, who is 9 years old, weighs 12 pounds, and he came to us from another shelter, but we were told that he likes to sleep in bed with his person.
How long do Dachshunds normally live?
Oh, 15, 17 years, 18 years,
okay.
Little dogs. And then the younger ones that we have, those are both boys. The young ones we have are Jessie and Spot. Jessie is a long-haired female dachshund, and Spot is a unusual marks with black and white, some black and white spots on him. She weighs 14 pounds, and they're just 8 months old, and their owners had health problems, forced her to give them up.
Okay.
So they're little girls, and so we have a dachshund for anybody who wants a dachshund.
All right. Any events coming up?
Yeah, actually Sunday, we're going to be at...
This Sunday?
This Sunday.
Okay.
The 24th. Hooters is having a poker run, and all the proceeds are coming to Operation Kindness, so we're very excited about that.
How much money do they normally make off of those?
Well, this is the first time. This is, I guess, the second one that they've done, but it's the first time that it's benefiting us. But we've been told, some, $2,000 to $3,000. So
Maybe I should set one up for the foundation.
It'd be a lot of fun. People do them on boats, motorcycles.
It doesn't always have to be like a Harley or something?
No.
Okay.
If there's a boat run up every year at Texas, they make a ton of money.
No. Okay, so that's Sunday when and where?
it's this Sunday. It starts at noon at the Hooters on Beltline Road in Addison.
Okay.
12 noon, when the first bike goes out. And I think it's going to hit the other Hooters locations, and then the last bike in is at Strokers, Dallas, and I'm not sure where that is, but
it's on Harry Hines'
on our website. Yep. It's a $20 donation and to Operation Kindness, and first prize winner gets $1,000. Second prize winner $500, and third prize is $250. And we're going to be at the Addison location starting about 11 o'clock, which is some of our dogs. We've tested some of the dogs to make sure that they're not going to be scared of motorcycles. So we'll be there for a bit.
Did you guys get rid of Buckwheat?
We found a home for Buckwheat.
Where'd he go?
He has a great home.
Where?
Well, I don't know the person's name, but
what part of town did he go?
Somewhere in the North Texas area.
Sure, you don't know what city that Buckwheat went to?
Well, not offhand.
Okay.
We adopt about 50 animals a week, so I don't remember exactly what city he went to.
You go to a good family?
Well, you know how carefully we screen.
I understand.
So I'm sure he went to an excellent family.
Yes.
Okay.
And of course, we got tons of kittens. It's kitten season. Tons of kittens and cats and big dogs.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, the website is operationkindness.org. The phone number is 972-418-PAWS.
Right.
PAWS.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
All right, then. We need a break?
Yes. Oh, just before like this.
Ow. All right, what emails you got?
Okay.
Chloe, load up Rock and Roll Jeopardy in case this peters out.
I'm going to show you some pictures, too. There's Toby Keith in concert last week singing that his American
American what?
Soldier.
Are you drinking?
No.
Why is it all the people that claim not to be messed up or acting drunk? Chloe was first of all, of course, he's drunk now, but
yeah.
JD.
You've been slurring all day.
No, I'm fine. I've not been slurring all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have.
Not that I'm aware of.
Well, normally you're not.
No.
That's why you're slurring. If you were aware of it, you'd speak.
Not slurring.
Why is this little girl crying?
Because he's singing the American Soldier song, and she lost her daddy in the war. That's what
that's what she's holding?
She's holding up the sign in memory of daddy.
Why you want to show me this?
Well, I don't want to. Just cool things to Toby. I know you don't like to talk about Toby.
I didn't say I didn't like him. I don't like country music. I appreciate what he does because it seems like he goes out and he goes on tour and doesn't make a big deal about it. It's one of those look what I'm doing things. He goes out and he does it. And if somebody finds out about it, fine. But if they don't, he doesn't tell them.
He didn't tell anybody. He's in a lot of country. I only know because I talked to David. And David's the road manager, and they'll be in Iraq or Beirut or someplace. And he pays for all that when he goes.
So she stood there during the whole song, holding up the picture of her daddy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sorry.
And she got pictures of dead puppies to show me, too?
I thought it was touching.
It is, and like I said, I appreciate the fact that somebody like that goes out and does something and doesn't say, well, I'm giving back. Well, you know what? You're not giving back, and it's not like he's taking credit for that. You want to give back? Why don't you hold a gun belt while they're shooting at somebody? That's giving back.
Sure.
He doesn't glorify what he's doing. You seen these?
No, I haven't.
All right, it's going to make you sad. Look at that.
Oh, thanks. Well, I blame JD entirely. It's the one that printed these out.
Yeah. All right, what do you got?
Dear Russ, I've listened to you for a long time. I've heard you bagging on your old program director and now on Gavin. Don't you think you should show them a little respect? What would you ever do if you got a boss who was a complete D-word?
Have to let him go.
That's so obvious.
So far, while we've been at CBS, everybody's gotten it.
We've been
McNeil got it. Mm-hmm. He knew to leave the show alone and just let it be what it was.
It worked out nice for him because he wasn't here most of the time anyway.
Right. So it took a lot of the pressure off.
It's hard to be upset about your afternoon show when you're on the golf course.
Gavin is the same way, except Gavin's here.
Yeah. And Gavin gets it. And Gavin was brought into this situation knowing that this is something you leave alone.
Right. All right, go ahead.
All right, recently ran into a girl who dated a buddy of mine 5 years ago. We always got along when they dated, and she gave me her number when I ran into her. Is that off limits? When they dated, he was really in love. He was really in love with him. I guess it's she, and she dumped him on his ass. I don't know if I should go after her or not. Guy, a buddy's ex-girlfriend. I say that's off limits.
Why?
Well, if you still if you're still around the guy, that's just uncomfortable.
Oh. How did you feel when you were screwing your neighbor and the husband would come back into town?
Bad.
Bad enough to stop?
How were you feeling when you looked at Everett and you were screwing Valerie?
Doesn't bother you, Elvis.
Fair enough. Big nickel. Do not do that the rest of the show. All right, Russ, you are effing hot. Okay, so I'm a little forward, but who cares? I'm never going to get a chance to meet you anyway. My boyfriend listens to you all the time, so I get updates since I can't listen at work. Are you really not happy with the way you look? My boyfriend left his computer on yesterday with your website on, so I checked you out. I remember Jeremy telling me, that's the boyfriend, not to mess with his computer, but I figured as long as he didn't leave the site he was on.
What's the question?
She just says, let me go down here. Big nickel. I couldn't wait for Jeremy to leave so I could take care of myself. She's just saying you're hot.
Oh, very generous.
And you give yourself a hard time.
I do.
Big nickel. Russell, do you hate the sound of your voice? I'm interning at a radio station in Tyler because I've always wanted to be on the radio. I've tried to record myself talking like a DJ, big nickel, but I hate the way it sounds. I know some people love the sound of their own voice. I think I've heard JD refer to them as pukers. I've never met you in person, but how do you like your voice? Looking to get your big nickel? Looking to get big nickel? Quit it! Looking to get big nickel? Looking to get big nickel? Quit it! Looking to nickel? Russ, looking to nickel? How the hell do you hang on to women? Why would anybody put up with your S? Either you love a woman for her or you don't. You don't like the size of her breasts. You go date a nickel. There it is. I think we should break.
We'll be back to the Russ Martin Show. Format doesn't matter. Talk, country, rock, Hispanic, even boogie down. He's numero one over them all. The Russ Martin Show on Live 105.
Big nickel.
All right. What else you got with emails? Just run through those, clear them out.
All right. Big nickel. All right. Let me see here. I know you make a lot of money and you're smart with it. What are your investment strategies? Where do you put your money? Stocks, bonds, mutual funds? Some of your poorer listeners could use your advice.
I got no plan. Put it all in the house. It's the next one. Yeah.
I just started investing today, matter of fact, with your trainer, Matt.
That was a pain in the ass.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
Why?
The meeting that I had with him, all the questions that he asked was a pain in the ass.
Okay. Well,
I still don't know what it is he's selling.
Well, one of them is mutual funds, and the other one is...
How come he would never tell me what it was actually he wanted me to invest in? Because I asked him at a certain point, I went, how about if I just give you cash and you shut up?
It's a mutual fund. It's the Russell Fund, and it's a variety of different places. That's the name of the company.
He never would tell me that. How come he told you and he didn't tell me?
I don't know.
He's probably afraid you'd ask a bunch of questions. He knows he can gloss stuff over and JD will buy into it.
No, he's very specific. It's just you get about, on average, about 10% on your return for the mutual funds.
Over what period of time?
Annually.
What?
Annually.
Are you really not drinking?
Stop it. Of course not.
Smell his drink.
Ski mask, smell your drink and pull your hair.
Sure. Knock yourself out. You opened it for me.
Well, just because I opened it doesn't mean you didn't stick anything in it.
Yeah, I'm drinking it.
How many times did you drink vodka in here and you didn't tell me about it?
Oh, that's true. But, yeah, you get a point.
All right.
I don't want it. Now you have your nose in it.
I don't invest in anything.
Okay. Well,
I like to stay liquid.
Well, you can stay liquid with these. You can get the money.
So you can cash it out at any time, and there's no penalty.
Mm-hmm. And life insurance, basically, the same situation. You're putting in. You're putting
build equity.
You're putting equity, and you get it out at any time. You basically get a loan against it, but you don't have to pay it back.
No.
They call it a loan.
And you got a 401k through Infinity, right?
Yeah, but there's not that much in it.
Well, you should.
Well, you're supposed to. Do you know if they match us our 401k?
Yeah, I think they do.
Okay. Well, they told me I should put as much as I can
Yes.
in
You
that, too.
should absolutely put as much as you can in your 401k.
That's free money.
Why?
Because it's put in and it's not taxed now.
Well, what if I want it?
Well, you can cash it out at any time, and you pay a penalty. You can also borrow against it. And actually, here's a cool thing about borrowing against it. If you do that, you continue to earn based on what would have been in there had you not borrowed against it, and can repay it at a small interest rate because you're basically borrowing your own money anyway. So that's a cool thing. If you end up, you don't want to cash it out, but if you end up in dire straits, you can always borrow against it.
You use it as collateral.
Yes. You're collateralizing your own money.
And you borrow against it in case you default, but it continues to draw interest.
Right. Say you have, I don't know, I'll just make up a number, $10,000 in your 401k, and you borrow $5,000 against it with an agreement.
From a bank.
No, you're borrowing against the actual 401k, the money that is in.
Who do you get the money from?
From whoever the firm is that's managing your 401k.
Got it. Go ahead.
So you borrow $5,000 of the 10 against, say there's 10,000 in there. You borrow $5,000. You have to pay that back over whatever period of time you specify. Let's say 2 years.
Okay.
But during that period of time, it's earning money as though
based on the
$10,000, even though you have taken out the $5,000 that you're borrowing against. Now you're paying an interest rate, but typically it's much lower than what you would pay if you were borrowing money from a bank, because again, you're borrowing your own money. Okay,
thank you.
We'll do it anyway. Bottom line is,
I got it.
Okay,
it was just cool because my money sitting in the bank's making me nothing, and this would be 7.5% guaranteed, or 10% is not guaranteed, but that's been the life expectancy here before. You ready to go?
What else you got?
Been dating a girl for a couple of weeks. Haven't hit it yet, and now I'm not sure if I want to. I was picking her up for a date the other night and saw something she'd filled out from a catalog, and she filled in her dress size as a size 10. I don't know much about women's sizes, but that seems really big.
I don't care.
Psychics, why do you believe in psychics, basically? It's a big, long email, but it says, you had Duana on. I didn't think you believed in that kind of stuff. Was it all a bit? Did you play it up?
What was it I was buying that Duana was throwing out?
Let me look here if it says. You always seem to know the right thing to say exactly the right time. That's the main reason I listen to you, because no matter what, I always seem to learn something new. I heard you rattled with Duana on your show. Oh, that's the other day when you were rattled, when she said something bad was going to happen. They want to know if you buy into that.
Oh, something bad was going to happen with CBS over the next 3 months.
Yeah. And it kind of rattled you.
I don't know. Here's a problem with her, is I never know when she's going to be right.
That's true.
When she's right, she's not vague about it.
No.
She's been dead on. The only problem is she misses like 85% of the time. So you never know which one to ignore. But when she gets one right, it's not just a few kind of gray things that seem to match.
Dead on.
Yeah.
I had that argument with that chick I dated when I first met Duana. She's right 90% of the time. No, even she will say she's not right 100 or 90% of the time. Yes, she is.
No.
That'd be ridiculous.
So, I just kind of like to explore each thing, because you never know when she's going to
hit.
Yeah, she's going to be on target with one.
And finally, first, I listen to your show all the time, but to get to the point, did you ever go to college or get a degree in radio television?
No.
Okay, that's it.
What am I going to do with it?
What? I just wanted to know. I'm asking because I myself am entering Texas A&M Commerce and to get a bachelor's degree in radio television. I was wondering, do you think it's going the right direction to become a fellow on-air personality?
No.
I agree with you.
You go find
a job at the radio station.
Go find a job, a small market station. Nobody wants to do that, though.
Oh, no.
For whatever reason, everybody wants to start, well, I live in Dallas. I should be able to work in Dallas. Mm-hmm. Well, you know what? That sounds damn convenient, but it doesn't play out that way.
Well, in this station, there for the longest time, if you had a heartbeat and wanted to be on the air, you could. That
was Bob McNeil.
Bob McNeil put everybody in the world on. So those kids came up seeing how easy it was.
Well, and how long did that last?
All of them are gone.
Find a small market station, go out there, screw around for a few years, Find one that's a little bit larger, screw around there for a while, and then gradually work your way up to some kind of decent market.
It's going to be hard to do for talk radio. We both started in music radio because there's very few local talk stations, the little towns.
I wouldn't want to start as a talk station.
I wouldn't either. No way in the world.
That's why I'm amazed that O'Malley and Tassos have been able to do, especially with Tassos, been able to accomplish what they've got.
Yes. It's difficult. It's a difficult format.
Because, Dan, neither you or Tassos had a music background, right?
As far as on-air stuff, I did very minorly at music stations before I started here.
Right.
But it's not like you or JD, where I held down for a number of years an on-air shift at a music station.
Right. What about Tassos?
No, this is the only one.
Mm-hmm. So that in itself is pretty impressive. They've been able to accomplish that and keep a show for as long as they have with no radio background, especially with Tassos.
But it's a good show. Like I said, I listened to them when they filled in for Bugs and Kelly.
Did a great job.
If you didn't know that they were filling in, you wouldn't go, damn, who's this sitting in?
Yeah, they really did sound good.
Yeah.
What about Tassos? Good enough. Let's go, Dan.
They're all afraid of you. For more information about The Russ Martin Show, pictures, links, video, webcams, and more, just go to russmartin.com. To get answers to any question you might ever have about the show, go to russmartin.info. To instant email the show only during the show, send that to studio@russmartin.com. The other show websites, johndavidryan.com,
Big Nickel,
thegrandragon.com,
Concealed Hat, Lace Nickers, Big Nickel,
danandtassos.com, GailLightfoot.com, DJClo.com, and RobRiddlemoser.com. To make a donation or adopt a pet, go to OperationKindness.org or call 972-418-PAUSE. For law issues, contact Everett Newton at DallasAttorney.com or call 214-823-LAWS.
Big Nickel, what it?
For more information about Spittleville, go to spittleville.com. For Black Eddie's weather information website, just go to weathering.com.
Big Nickel, God.
And of course, the official site for KLLI is live1053.com.
Can I plug my appearance?
At the Chicken Shack?
Yeah. Bush's Chicken, Greenville Avenue, tomorrow night, 5 to 7, just south of Walnut Hill in Dallas. Big Nickel. God! Russell! You are unbelievable.
See you guys Monday.
See you Monday.
You can now listen to The Russ Martin Show anytime you want on the web at russmartin.info.
Big Nickel.
The Russ Martin Show on the Alternative Talk Station. Live.